Alright, welcome everyone, and we are back for some more summertime rendering. Episode 2. Last episode, we left off, literally, with a bang. And a lot of mysteries, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about in the previous episode that I wasn't able to discuss in the episode discussion, probably because I forgotten or missed it. But let's start with the opening scene again, even though I've already talked about this specific moment in the previous episode's discussion. But what I do want to talk about is this. So both times during the beginning of the episode and towards the end of the episode, our main character Shinpei wakes up, but he wakes up in the same way, which is shouting out Ushio's name, right? Let me see if I can get my subtitles back. Yeah. Ushio. He wakes up, hits the lady in the boot, right? End of the episode. Again, same thing happened. He wakes up. He didn't shout Mio, even though Mio is the one who is getting killed in that scene, right? No. He shouts out Ushio again. Here. Now, this information kind of changes how I perceive the opening scene, which is here, right? Because at first I was talking about whether or not this scene was... I talked about this scene not being an actual dream, that this is actually something that happened, right? In the past. Or future, depending on how the time loop works, right? But now I'm actually thinking that this is actually a dream, in that every time he dies, alright, and this is a theory, right? A prediction, a theory with no real basis other than the fact that of what we just saw, but there is a possibility, right? Where whenever he dies, he goes into this dream state. And here, we actually meet Ushio, or Ushio in quotations. And this is why here in the dream, Ushio is saying, hey, protect Mio, because Mio is gonna get shot and killed later on. What do you guys think? Obviously, if you are a manga reader, don't say anything, okay? But I'm just putting my 2 cents on this, right? He could end up dying over and over again, and every time he dies, he communicates with Ushio, or whatever Ushio is at the moment, because we still don't know. So that's one thing that I was, I want to bring up. The second thing that I want to bring up is the camera flash, because that happened in the previous episode, and I didn't really comment on that in the discussion, even though I kind of saw it happen and I was curious. But yeah, a camera flash. Who took the camera flash? Could it be the business lady, or could it actually be the doppelganger, the entity, or whatever it is currently? We still don't know. But whatever it is, it's definitely something important because they are showing it, right? So those are 2 things that I just want to talk about the previous episode. And that's pretty much it. So, I have episode 2 up and ready to go. If you do want to watch the full episode with me, there is a full-length timer-based reaction link in the description below. Completely free. It's a YouTube link. All you have to do is just sync up your own copy of Summertime Rendering with the timer, and then you can watch the full episode with me. Or if you want to watch the next episode already, there should be one available over at Patreon. So if you want to get early access, and if you want to support the channel, Patreon is the way to go. And with that being said, if you do enjoy the reaction, hit the like and subscribe as always. And let's watch the episode. Wait, where are we? Oh, the past, when Ushio was saving the little girl. Whoa! Why is he here? So he's looking at this. Visions of the past? Oh, and this is when he screams Ushio. Of course. Okay. That's different. We didn't see this in the previous episode. Her interacting with him in the boat. Interesting. Yeah, you're in a time loop, baby. So he remembers. That's good to know. But he still perceives it as a dream. I wonder if that's a real book. I'm gonna have to look it up after the episode. Her making the call again. Bring it, right? July 22nd again, yeah. So far everything seems the way it is. Oh, I wish I can actually understand Japanese to read some of those. 11:25, July 22nd. I can get a bit of an understanding. Someone said that those were just basically storyboards. I can see that. Damn it, I wasn't paying attention to when Shinpei was looking at Ushio in that beach, whether or not she was wearing the seashell necklace or not. And then Mio is gonna come in again, right? Ah, that was the thing that Mio stumbled upon that made her fall. So is she not gonna fall? No. Okay. Maybe I was misremembering in the previous episode. Oh. Oh. Someone cut the brakes. Interesting. I kind of want to go back to the previous episode to see whether or not that detail was there. Fuck, the rewatch value for this series is gonna be amazing. Okay, we didn't see this in the previous episode. Yeah, it is. Ah, flashes of light. Her being here makes me believe that she is the one who took the flash photography in the previous episode. Same conversation again. The flash photography. Ooh, I love that. Layer upon layer upon layers. Okay. Are we going to see Mio again outside? Oh, that shot was great. His reflection in the clock. Ticking time. Great shot. He's gonna go outside. Is he gonna meet? He is going to see her. And we don't know what happened next. Oh! Murder. So yeah, the reason why the police officer was acting all funny in the previous episode was because it is the shadow. Yeah, I'm just gonna start referring to it as the shadow. Are we gonna see it transform into him? Oh! The flash photography is the shadow. That's its ability to copy people. Okay. So we got that question out of the way. Whoa. Whoa. Okay then. More than one shadow. Remember in the previous episode when Mio was saying that some of the people that she was interacting in the village are all acting differently, like strangers? Fuck me. So how many of these motherfuckers are actually the fucking shadow? Holy shit. Oh yeah, it is happening, alright. Ooh, nice line art. The change in art style. Oh. He's already what? Goes back in time. I was right. I was right. Whenever he dies, he can communicate with Ushio again. Protect Mio? Yeah. She's gonna wake up screaming Ushio's name again. No? Back here? So not on the boat. So he still loops back in time, but just a tiny bit further away? What? Is he gonna try to save her? Ooh. And you're dead. And we still get the panty shot no matter what. Fuck me. Is this gonna be a running gag where every timeline, whatever happens in this moment, we are still gonna get the panty shot no matter what? I'm not complaining, but... I'm not sure that is scientifically proven, but... Ah! So that's why they were focusing on her earlier on. Because she's already the shadow. But what if you can't capture the shadow on footage, though? The eyes are different. Wait, you never noticed that? I mean, it kind of makes sense, but... Please don't. No. 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 I swear if you open that door. But that answers my question from the previous episode on whether or not Mio was just a different colored skin or was tan, and I got the answer. So, it was not in vain. Okay, he's talking to her, but she already knows that that doppelgangers exist. How is she gonna react to this? No, but let's go with that. Sure, fine. Oh, that was the end of the episode. Holy shit. That episode flew by so fast. Also, I'm pretty sure Mio didn't give Shinpei Ushio's seashell necklace this time around. Because they never have the conversation outside of their room. Because that conversation happened after Mio took the bath. Apparently this is real life footage of like the actual island or something like that. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, episode 2 of Summertime Rendering. Some questions answered, but more questions arise. I'm gonna talk a little bit about this because this was something that I wanted to rewatch. Yeah, she is not wearing the necklace again in this scene. So I keep wondering like why she is wearing the necklace in the opening, the seashell necklace, and then throughout this entire story, at least so far, 2 episodes in, and she isn't wearing the necklace. I don't know why, but it is interesting and it is curious. I may be over analyzing the necklace or whatever, but there is a significance in that object, because why would they introduce it in episode 1? What else do I want to talk about? Let's go back to the first episode, which, yes, I want to correct myself. No, Mio did not stumble on that that hole before she falls. No, that was Shinpei's doing. But because they focused on it twice now in episode 1 and 2, means that something different is gonna happen later on in the future. I can guarantee you that. But yeah, let's rewatch this scene where Mio accidentally falls into the water. Panty shot again. Falls down. Same as usual. But I wonder if they showed the handbrake again in this scene with the bike, because they did focus on the bike later on. No, they did not show a more detailed look on it. Okay, that's fine. So let's go back to episode 2 again. So something different from episode 1 in episode 2 is that these 2 characters have a few more scenes in this episode. They had to have a little bit more of a conversation or what have you. It's not really substantial at the moment. Not really a huge plot development, but it is something to basically keep an eye out, because in the previous episode, their interaction only ended with her slapping him in the face and then the scene cuts away. Here, she is actually talking to him more. I wonder if their interaction and their conversation is gonna develop more and more, specifically in this scene. What else was I searching for? That's right. This book. What was the name of the book again? Swamp Man by Nagumo Ryunosuke. Did a quick Google search. Apparently, this is not a real author or a real book, and this is a fictional one that is set in this universe of Summertime Rendering, which is why I didn't look any further, because I don't want to get spoiled on some stuff. I just saw the first couple of links on Google, and it immediately just links you directly to either the Summertime Rendering wiki or my ANILIST, which pretty much already confirms me that yeah, this is not a real book or a real author. This is a fictional character and a fictional book. Cool. And throughout this entire episode, we are seeing like more and more of the stuff that is supposedly supposed to happen in the previous episode that we just didn't really focus on. Him coming into the Ushio's funeral and talking to Alan, that did not happen in the previous episode, but it is presumed that it did happen just off screen, and now we're actually looking at it on screen. So cool to see like more interactions, more basically story element that wasn't available to us in the first episode being introduced in the second episode, because clearly now those moments are gonna play a big part later on. We're probably going to see more and more differences in those moments in next episodes, and I'm really looking forward to it. Previously, I thought she was the one who was taking the photograph, the flash, but no, it is not. And it becomes more clear to me, especially right now, when the flash happened. Look who they decided to focus on. The little girl. I should have seen it coming. I should have looked more detail into it. At first I thought that Shinpei was looking at her because the flash came from her direction and he was looking at her because she is the victim. No! She is actually the shadow. 100% she is actually the shadow. And she is the reason why, and she is the one who is taking the flash. Okay, episode 2, this entire show is basically making me paranoid because I've been going back and forth between episodes 1 and 2 just to see any like little differences in the detail. But yeah, I was like asking myself, is there any difference in this scene when they are having a meal? And there is. I don't know if this is just, I don't know the significance. Maybe it's just like a cool little like difference in detail, like nothing special. But this is episode 1, right? In episode 1, Shinpei is sitting on the far right, and the empty chair with the food that is meant for Ushio is right here, basically in front of Mio. In episode 2, that empty meal is right here in front of Shinpei. I don't know. Little details like this, I don't know how like big this change could like entail, but it's clear that even when things seem normal or seem like the same, it's actually not. The smallest changes would lead to bigger differences at the end. I don't know. I just love this. The food right here, the empty chair is now on Mio's side and in front of Shinpei, and from here it's this is a show that requires a lot of rewatch from like the previous episodes, and I'm all in for it. But let's continue the scene for now. We continue the scene and then we witness this. What actually happened? What actually happened is the shadow murders him and took his place. And this explains a lot of the weird character interactions from episode 1, because the character interactions in episode 1, especially here in the restaurant, is all over the place. The weird, crazy, this isn't right, this is uncanny, is all over the place, and there's a reason for it. Yeah, this is the shadow, and I was talking about it in the previous episode's discussion. I was talking about why the person was, why that scene, that moment, they focus on a lot. Like here, yeah, there's a reason for it, because that is the shadow. Cool. Let's move on. So the shadow killed him, took his place, took a flash, and then this like aurora, this aura, this light coming out from her. Wait a minute, I want to go back to the previous scene again, and I want to see. It's similar. It is similar. Like they're using a similar effect on Shinpei, but it's definitely not as bright or as sparkly with as this. And then the shadow takes its form and took his place. And this is one thing this is one thing that ooh, yeah. When the shadow takes the form of another person, right, and that person is dead, they can just vanish that person out of existence. A lot of people in this island are shadows. Yeah. Don't trust anyone at this point. I cannot trust anybody at this point because I don't know whether or not they are the shadow or they are real. I don't know if Alan is real. Shit. It adds a lot of it adds this layer of tension and untrustworthiness of every character. At least we know that Mio is mostly going to be the same person, at least in the beginning, because Mio is the only character that the shadow has failed to replace, right? But everybody else, we don't know yet. We don't know if So is still So. We don't know if Alan is still Alan. Shit. Also, I just remembered this. So going back to the opening scene, there's this girl, right, with the pink hair, new character. I don't know who she is, but there's a reason why she's there. Probably gonna be a character later on in the future. Who knows? Just wanted to to add that, just in case people think that I miss it. The shadow, and then we go back to the shadow taking the place of other people, and then killing Shinpei. But then the shadow, at least Mio's shadow, said something interesting. Where is it? She said something interesting. No, he's already what? He's already what? The other shadow was taking, you gotta copy him? But the shadow says, no, he's already what? Is he already a shadow? What is going on? But it definitely has something to do with his eyes, though. That's for certain. What did Ushio gave him? What is this ability that Shinpei has that he becomes like this? He's already what? Because obviously she's not gonna say he's already dead, because that doesn't really apply, because they killed the officer before they copy it, so that's not going to be the case. So what is he? What is he? Another mystery, another question that I want answers to already. And this ties back to the opening sequence, to the opening scene of the first episode. Ushio gave something to him. We don't know what it is, or in my opinion, it's like an ability, definitely an ability to go back in time, or a time loop or whatever. But what does that make him? Is he still human? Is he another form of a shadow? Is there like different fantasy entities, creatures, or whatever? This is so fun. It's intriguing, and I love it. And then they showed this. They showed this, specifically highlighting the eye. And it's weird because he never really noticed that his eyes changed. So this ability is something new that he got. And what's even weirder is that everybody else seems to not give a shit about his eyes. Like, nobody's talking about it. Not even Mio, not even Alan. Like, for someone who is like close to Shinpei in a way, like, they're not really commentating on his different eye color. Interesting. And then we got to this. Can't believe it. Even though I just mentioned it early on in the beginning of this video, that I have a theory that possibly whenever Shinpei dies, he goes to this realm where he can communicate with Ushio, and lo and behold, that is kind of the case here, which makes me kind of happy, because that means I'm on the right track in a way. So yeah, whenever he dies, he meets with Ushio again, kind of having this same kind of meeting where Ushio will end up saying, "Please save Mio, protect Mio," or what have you. Fascinating. Which again begs the question, what the fuck is Ushio? What is she? Because at this point, Ushio feels more like a god entity than an actual human. Especially with the way whenever Shinpei dies, Ushio acts like this guiding light to him, asking like, "Hey, here's your mission, go save Mio. Go back in time." Yeah, I don't know. Ushio becomes more and more of a mystery of like what she is, as opposed to like everybody else. But she can't be a shadow because there's already a shadow of her, as you know, seen by Mio. So if she is not a shadow, then what is she? There's definitely some spiritual and fantastical elements to the show that we have not yet further explored yet. Like the origins of the shadow, which honestly speaking, I don't really need an explanation on their origin, but an explanation would be fine either way. And stuff like going into the shrine and you know, cleansing yourself of the shadow or whatever, you know, it adds to the lore of this island and like the spiritual elements of it, and I cannot wait for them to explore it even more. And here's the crazy thing, he goes back in time, but not to the point where he not to when he was back on the boat. No, we skipped that. He goes back in time and immediately the scene is already when he is outside of the boat. Maybe there's like a okay, prediction and theory time. Okay, no, but that doesn't make sense though. I was gonna say like the longer I was gonna say like you only go back in time in like 24 hours or whatever, right? Like let's say Shinpei dies on a Tuesday, that means he would go back on Monday, and if he dies on Wednesday, then he goes back on Tuesday. I was gonna mention like something like that, like there's a rule to how long you're gonna go back in time to, right? But Shinpei dies way earlier than he did in episode 1. So that theory is out of the window. So why is he back here? Why did he go back in time, but it skipped a fair portion of it? Because if this keeps happening, right? Because if this keeps happening, where after a certain amount of resets of time loops, he is going to go back in a more the amount of time between past and present is gonna shrink further and further away. He could end up dying and going back to essentially when they were having dinner. But and this kind of presents a ticking time bomb in a sense, right? Like you have to quickly get this over with in this span of time before time runs out. That could also be a possibility, and if that is the case, that could make some for like very fun and really thrilling and tension-filled moments, right? Because now we have like a time limit. That could also be interesting, and honestly, if that is the case, great. That makes for a really fun time loop and kind of like changes the formula a bit, and I enjoy that. Cool. So we go back here, and okay, this is actually kind of funny. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the case, and if this is the case, I will be laughing. Every time this specific moment is happening where Mio falls to the sea, whatever the circumstance is gonna be like, we're still gonna get a panty shot either way. She didn't even fall to the ocean, Shinpei did, but we still get a panty shot regardless. Sure, if that's gonna be a running gag, I can live with that. Yeah, sure, fine. Cool. We see more of her. She's recording. We don't know the significance of this yet, but yeah. She could also be recording this for like memory reasons. That could also be a case, right? I mean, we still don't know how. I mean, we still don't know who she is. We don't know if she has abilities as well. But I don't know. Recording, on a phone, basically leaving messages for you, is a common trope in like time loops or like things that are dealing with memories, time loops, future, past stuff, whatever, right? You can leave messages, and then whenever whenever shit happens, you can just look at the messages and going, oh, so this is what happened. That could be the case. Wait a minute. No, okay. I was trying to look at the color of her eyes, or I had a theory that she is also time looping as well. So that's why she keeps using messages, but that doesn't make sense, does it? Because messages doesn't really, they don't really travel to time. I don't know. I don't know why she's leaving messages. I guess we'll just have to wait and see until the show or the story confirms it. Because we still don't have like any like major what's the word I'm looking for? We still haven't explored her more. We still have barely any information about her mission, her objective, other than the fact that maybe she's trying to get rid of the shadow. Yeah. Ooh, cool shot. Love the color here. The use of purple, nice. Yeah. Going back to the eye color shenanigans. He doesn't know that he has a different eye color? Huh. I mean, I've already talked about that, so I'm not gonna dive deeper into it. And then the episode abruptly ends. I was expecting more, and then the episode just ends. Cool. I think the pacing for this episode is a lot better than the previous episode, because in the previous episode they were like going really fast, just because they wanted to reach that point of the story where his head got shot and then he goes back in time, right? That's a perfect hook for the story. But in this episode, they definitely slowed down the pacing more, at least in my experience watching it as an anime only. And yeah, definitely enjoyed this episode. And yeah, the quality definitely seems to... there's definitely not a single drop in quality, in my opinion. The quality has remained consistent so far in these two episodes, and I cannot wait to see where the story is gonna go. Yeah, Summertime Rendering. Great show regardless. Well, there we have it, folks. That's my reaction to Summertime Rendering Episode 2. Again, if you want to watch the full episode, there is a full-length timer-based reaction link in the description below. And if you want to watch the next episode already, there should be one available over at Patreon on Early Access. And if you do enjoy my reaction and the discussion as well, hit the like and subscribe, and I will see you all next week for more Summertime Rendering. Take care, guys.